What's up, team? So we are doing the Quick Coach Lamb Lab client check-ins. So this is the part where you've already done your assessments, you got your client a program, they've started the program, and now you just want to make sure that they're continually making progress and adjusting their programs as needed. And we have a system when it comes to making sure that we don't miss any details and making sure that our clients are continually growing. And that is a two-way street. So if you know in the coaching, golden rules of coaching, you are to be the person responsible for their results. The reason they've hired you is because that they have this goal and that they realize that they need someone else to get them to where they want to go. So for you to be a good coach means you need to lead by example and have their best intentions in mind when coming across these check-ins. Additionally, just like how it is, you can think of it like a coach and an athlete. When an athlete when an athlete fails, it's not the athlete's fault, it's the coach's fault. But if the athlete wins, it's the athlete's win and not the coach's win. So being a coach is a very selfless kind of position because you basically are taking all the blame if you are not able to get the athlete to where they go. And when they do get where they want to go, you have to reward them for them putting in the work of following exactly what you said. So that's why it's so key that we have good check-ins to ensure that we continue to make progress and that we make adjustments so that our clients do not fail and achieve their biggest goals and make them essentially, be like, wow, my trainer is the best trainer in the whole world and they have completely changed my life. That's literally why we're in this industry and why I think this industry is one of the best. So without further ado, let's get started. So what we're going to do is first we're going to open up our client list here. So let's get this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to go to our client list. And as you can see, our clients are all initialed based on the trainer or their program they're in. So since my initials are AL, I'm just going to search my AL clients and all my clients are going to pop up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this open a new tab and it's really just like open all my clients that I have to do. So for us, we are probably doing this on a Sunday afternoon because most clients check in once a week and their final check-in being Sunday morning. So depending on where they are in terms of their training or their nutrition, typically when they are in their nutrition, when they've done that part, you know that they have a once per week check-in minimum to submit things like their average weigh-in, their protein intake, their calorie intake, and also by Sunday morning, they've already submitted all their workouts in terms of how much weight they lifted, which workouts did they complete, which workouts did they skip, and all the information. So let's go into a sample client. So I'm gonna go with Andrew. So he's one of my online clients, and we're gonna take a look at his week and if he and then see what we got to do. So as we can see, what I like to do is first review the details and notes. So this is kind of where like the last notes you put in. So the last time, October 15th, we started a new split where he is focusing on the goals of keeping his plyo. He's a volleyball player. He's also a doctor. And he's a dad of two. So he's quite busy, and making sure that he gets all his workouts done is really important, and also that he performs well with high energy. Because he's been so busy with the newborn, we changed his split. He's got 2 strength workouts, 1 zone 2 cardio, and 1 mixed modality conditioning day. He's been feeling better from our training. He's got more energy, but we got to make sure that the back stays feeling good. All right, so now I kind of remember where he's at. We know he has some nutrition goals, so let's go back into the client profile. And let's take a look at the workouts he's done. So this is the week of January. Let me double check. It is the week of January 6th. So these are the workouts he's done. He got his zone 2 done, his day 1, his bonus workout, and his day 2. So this is great. What we can do is click this iPhone button and we can kind of see what he's recorded. So, okay, he's got his energy level in there. He did a spin, pretty standard. It's his day 1. Okay, he's got all his stretches in there, which is great. I'm noticing if there's any comments in the results box that he write. Okay, and if I look at his barbell back squat, great. He did his warm-up sets. He followed the rep scheme 6, 8, 10, so we like to see that. Another thing we can take a look at is his last performance. So barbell bench press, we got 6 reps of 4 sets, 155, 5, 4, 4, 3. And we noticed that his performance was 155, 6, 5, 5, 4. So that's a little bit of a interesting note that actually since December 23rd, maybe he hasn't benched in a long time. So maybe that's why his bench hasn't been as good and progressing like it was when he was really consistent. But it's good to see that Andrew's getting it done. So we'll keep moving on. Nothing out of the ordinary here. And overall, really good. He's got everything done. So pretty much going through every single workout and seeing if there's anything that, a red flag, something we need to address, or whether the progress isn't going in the right direction. Another way we can monitor progress is by checking the past performance tab. So I really like this past performance tab because it just says you can look at the last, few days worth of activities all at once, and then checking this results tab to see whether there's any differences, and also gives insight of what type of exercises has he been doing in the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? So if we are making him a new program, then we can tell which exercises do we need to get rid of, which ones do we need to take out, which ones might be feeling a little stale for him, because we only want to progress the exercise or change the exercise when we stop, when we kind of hit a plateau where we're not able to get much value out of. But sometimes things just get boring and we need to switch it up. So right now we're looking pretty solid. I know with Andrew, we just started this new routine, and we did make some changes here and there because there's been some injuries and things like that. So I know that he's updated, so I'm just going to move on from here. Now we want to check out his client comments and feedback. So January 12th, he wrote, dropped deadlift weight a bit because I want to play with form, focus on hinge like with other movements. We'll send form video. Great. He's finished his workouts. So nothing I need to answer yet. But if there was something I need to answer, you want to text your client. You could email them, whatever way you like to communicate with them. I usually would just be like, hey, Andrew, made a couple changes. Answer any of questions in that text. And then from there, keep going, right? So just making sure that I'm getting all the info first. Taking a look at the survey, I'm looking for 3s and 4s for everything, so we are good. All right, so all we're missing is Andrew's Sunday morning check-in. So he hasn't sent that in to me yet. And when they don't send in check-ins on time, what that means is you got to remind your client, like, hey, I'm checking your program on Sunday afternoon. If this check-in comes in late, well, then the whole program gets delayed. So in this case, I really want that check-in to come in because I want to see how he's doing in terms of his nutrition, his energy and stress level, his sleep. It's really hard for me to put in new things if I'm not sure where he's at. And let's take a look at his next Sunday check-in. So what I can also do is use the plan notes to input any of his calorie or macro changes. So after your nutrition call and after you've written down, what you would like to do, whether that's habits or macros, you can put it in here. So an example would be this week's calories and macros could be, okay, I'm just going to make up some numbers, right? Calories, 2,000, protein, 170 grams. And we want to make sure maybe we're tracking his steps. So we're going to add a step count to there, right? We're trying to achieve 10,000 steps per day. And essentially every time you make an adjustment in terms of calories, steps, or even adding cardio into their workout, these are cards you play in order to get a response or a change within their program. Are they losing weight or losing body fat at the appropriate pace? Are they gaining muscle at the appropriate pace? Are they feeling recovered? So you don't want to make too many variable changes all at once because then you won't be able to identify which change actually was beneficial. But the idea is, making these minor adjustments as the weeks go on to make sure that these stats within the check-in are changing properly. So that's all going to depend on the person. We have other resources on what type of pace you should expect. But at least for in terms of the check-in, these are the tools you have. And sometimes what I even do is after I made a client a nutrition plan, I might just copy that whole email and paste it into there. You can really format it nicely with pictures, links, and other things to make it look more coherent and better. So you have a lot of freedom within the plan notes. And yeah, but as you can see, I got everything loaded in the draft. So once that comes in, what I would do is make the appropriate changes first on each of these workouts if needed, and then just changed his workouts to upcoming. So now he's loaded in. I will typically just load it in, but I will let him know that I'm expecting this check-in so I can monitor other side of it. But yeah, so now last but not least, let's go into the check-in and talk about how to make something custom and something relevant for your client. So with most of your clients, they're always going to want to gain muscle and lose body fat. But also, what about performance in terms of how they feel, their energy levels, or maybe some of their pre-existing injuries that our exercises are supposed to reduce? We are not physios or chiros, so we're not going to, to be too focused on the injury aspect of it, but we want to make sure that our training program is positively influencing pain and reducing pain, and also making the athlete perform better, and even if it's subjectively or quantitatively. So the check-in is great for that qualitative aspect of it. So we're getting all this information down, and lately Andrew's been texting me on the side, and he's been telling me that his back and his upper neck has been hurting lately. And when I've reviewed his box squat video, I can see that his form wasn't as good, and we made a couple corrections. So I've already put those warm-ups in there for him. I put the corrective exercises in there. So now I want to see whether these changes are actually making an influence. So I'm going to add in my check-in for the next few weeks or however long I need to, something custom for him. So I could do something like a back pain, right, indicator. So 1 being bad, 5 being no pain. So now this is a custom touch point that I can help him stay on track. And I'm just going to leave it at that. If I like, I'm going to edit things. So, I can write task notes is the goal is from being a 5 to a 4, or make it like a specific thing, like is it upper back pain, is it lower back pain, provide feedback. But this is a pretty straightforward question, so I'm not really going to complicate. I'm just going to leave it like that. Make sure I hit complete. Make sure I hit save. And now Andrew's good to go. Just waiting for that check-in from him, and then we'll move on to the next client. So, and I'll X that out, and then I'll move on to the next one. So Niranjan. And making sure that on Sunday I get everything done. If you're in a time crunch, what I would say is, and let's say you have a lot of clients you need to check in for, make sure you know all the clients who train Monday morning or like are coming in for a session, have their programs in first, because they're high priority. But if you know someone is going to work out Monday afternoon, then in your gap of time, you can always get their check-ins and workouts loaded Monday afternoon. But definitely set some time aside on Sunday, get a nice coffee, find a nice quiet place, and crank out these programs. Be very detail-oriented, and your clients will love you for it, and ultimately get the best results, because that is going to say and speak volumes for you and grow your career much beyond what you do at Lamb Lab if you can help people change their lives. So if you have any questions, as usual, just email info@lamblab.ca, and always happy to chat and refine our processes even more. And thanks for watching.